Hello guys and welcome to this video. In the last video we created a test automation project for our test application. In this video I'm going to create a new test case for login page. So from this left side panel, create a new test case called login. So this is my test case. Let's move to script mode. And now I will create some objects from the elements I need to work with. Let's open SpyWeb. And click Start to open Google Chrome. Let's move to login page. And I have to capture this element, capture object, and this one, capture object, password, and login page and login button. And if I go to object spy, my objects are listed here. Let's rename the objects page or login page. For this element I can keep it, but I have to specify that it's h2. So what's better, I can copy this XPath as it's simpler, and I can paste it here and then replace the asterisk, as I don't need to get all elements. I'm interested in h2 only. Let's remove this asterisk and I will move to the next element here. Let's call it text username. From attributes I can get the ID. As the element has an ID, I can select the element using the CSS selector by typing the txt username, which is the ID, preceded by the hash. You can make sure it works. So click verify and highlight to see if this is a valid CSS selector, and get back here. Found one element using CSS selector. This is okay. So let's move to the next element. I will rename it to text password. This element has an ID too. Let's copy this ID and move to CSS section. I will copy and paste it. So for the next one, the button, login button, it has ID. Try to get the ID of element. If it has, you can capture the element by ID. And now that's it. I can save. And select object repository to save your login page folder under object repository. So click OK here. And let's close this for now. And here from the left side panel, I can see login page is listed now under Test Explorer. Next, I need to verify the login page header is present on the page. Let's use the keyword once more. And I will be using verify element visible. this one, and let's drag and drop the element from the object repository like this. Next, I need to enter the username and password into both fields, username and password. In the same way, drag and drop, it's very easy. I will take this one first. And for the second parameter, I will replace this null. And let's enter a username. John Doe. And the same for password. And these are the valid credentials I have to provide in order to log in. Finally, here I can click login button. And these are all steps for now. Next, I have to move these hard-coded values from the script into profiles here, like we did with the base URL. I will do the same with both username and password. So let's copy. Add a new variable here from this button. Let's name it username. The value type will be string and paste John Doe. This is the username. The same with password too. Let me copy this and go to default. I'm gonna add a new parameter, a new variable. Let's name it password, and value type will be string, and paste password here. So let's save all and get back to my script login page here. Next, I need to replace these hard-coded values and consume the global variables. And from this menu, if you use the keyword global variable dot, you will see all profiles variables here. Password, URL, username are listed. I will select here the username, and the same as with password too. And here I have global variable username and password, getting rid from the default profiles instead of the hard-coded values. Now I have more than one test case, and if you run this test case right now, it will for sure fail. And why will it fail? As here, as you can see, web UI.verify element visible. It will keep trying to verify this element is visible, whereas it is not. And why is this? As our web browser is not open, so I have first to create a test suite to group my test cases into the test suite. From this left side menu, I can right click test suites and add a new one. And select test suite. Let's give it any name as you wish. Booking test suite. And click OK. This is my test suite. I can add test cases to this test suite by clicking add button and select open browser and login test cases, and I will click OK to close this window. And here are my test cases are listed. I can change order here, move up, move down, but this is okay for now as I have to open browser first, then I can log in. Now let's run our test case to make sure that everything will go fine. Click this button to run the test case. And it's now opening my web browser. And we'll click login to navigate to login page. And here is my test case. So everything is fine so far. And as you can see here, passes 2. You can see also here I have a result for the test suite, and open browser passed, login test case passed 2. Let's get back to login test case. I will close this. And now let's move to another point. As I have more than one test case, I need to take a screenshot after each test case. In this point, I will use what is so-called test listener. Test listener or test hooks in general are generic methods run by default before each test case or before test suite. Let's add a new test listener here from Test Explorer. I will right click test listener to add a new one and select new test listener. Let's name it general test listener. And here you can select any one of them. So Katalon Studio will create and write the code for you. I will select, let's select all of them right now and click OK. And here is our test listener. And as you can see, we have the basic code for all methods we have selected in the last step. Let me move to after test case, and notice here it's annotated as after test case. So let's remove this piece of code, and I have to add some class here, the run configuration. I have to import this class, and let's get back to after test case. And now let's use it here as run configuration. Dot get execution source. Get execution source here, source name. I will select this one. So this piece of code will return will get me the name of currently running test case. So I will have to append to use first. So I will have to use web UI dot. Actually, let's create a path first for our image before using the text screenshot keyword. Def path equal, and I will concatenate, let's say .png. But before this, I have to specify the folder or directory I need to save the snapshots to. Let's say screenshots and this one. So this will create a path consists of screenshots directory concatenated by the currently running test case, and finally it will append the .png as an image. So let's get here. I can remove this space. Now I can take screenshot, and here I will select this one, the third one, and I will give it the file name path here. So this will take a screenshot after each test case and it will give it this name. You can make use of TestCaseContext too, but let me show you how to use this, and I will select test case ID. But notice here, if I use this way, it will return me the test case name as this format, test cases, and concatenated by the forward slash and then the test case name. Let's say, for example, login. And as you can see, containing this forward slash is not a valid name for the file. So if you need to proceed with this method, you can use replace method in order to replace the forward slash with, for example, let's say hyphen or underscore instead. But for now, I will remove this and I will use this method instead. And here, don't forget to import the run configuration class here before using this line of code. And now there is something else I need to do. As you can see here, before test suite, I can make use of this method. Before test suite, I can have Katalon Studio open the browser for me. So let's go to open browser here. And I will cut this line of code and move it to this method here. So before each test suite, I will make sure that Katalon Studio will open the browser for me before running any test case. Let's get back here. Next, you have to create this folder in order for your script not to fail. So I will go to directory where this project is saved. Let me right click, for example, profile, and click open containing folder. And this will open the root directory of the project where the project is saved. So I can create here a screenshots folder here, and make sure you have copied the right spell so your script does not fail. Let's get back to our test suite and try to rerun our test cases together. Click run to run our test suite now. And now here is our test case. Let's check our folder here, screenshots, and it's obvious it has taken the screenshot after the test suite itself, as it's called booking test suite.png. It's so called. So in our script we have written the code here after test case, and I don't really know why it has taken the screenshot after the whole test suite. So let me try something else. I will comment out this line of code, and I will use the def path equal TestCaseContext dot TestCaseID TestCaseID, and I will replace the forward slash with, let's say, hyphen, this way. And now let me use the take screenshot method once again. Now here, path. So let's append first the directory. Screenshots and forward slash. And let me get back here to booking test suite, and let's retry this once more. Let me check now. And it seems to have worked fine this time. And here is test cases hyphen open browser, and this is test case login. Let's open this image. As you can see, let's move previous to display the second one, test case login, which is after test case login. So let me close this window and get back to Katalon Studio. So for now, I will remove this one, as I don't need to use the test suite name. I will instead use the test case name. Let's get back to my test case here, login. And let me close all, close others. So next, I need to verify I am really logged in after logging in. Let's open SpyWeb once again. I'm gonna open our website. let me log in. And now I need to capture the logout button here, capture object, and this header. Let's get back to object spy. I'm gonna rename this appointment page. And for logout, let's it does not have any ID. I have to capture this element by XPath. I'm gonna remove this. Let me copy this XPath and get back here and paste it. It's let's remove this asterisk and replace it with A for anchor. Let's verify and highlight. Okay, found one element using XPath selector. Let's do the same for the header. Let's remove this XPath property, and I will copy this one and go back here. Sorry for this. I will copy once again. Let's replace this asterisk with H2. Let's verify. Okay, found one element using XPath. I'm gonna save this and get back to Katalon Studio. And notice here I have appointment page folder is stored under object repository with elements captured, logout, and appointment. And next I need to verify the header is present on the page. Web UI dot let's drag and drop our element this way. And now to verify I'm logged in, I have first to click the toggle menu button to open the menu. And I will drag and drop my object from object repository. If you remember, it has been saved under home page. Let me drag and drop this element. Next, I have to verify that logout link is present on the page. In the same way, let's drag and drop logout link here. And now, after checking the logout button, let's click toggle menu again to hide the menu. So once again, and actually I could copy this line of code and paste it here. Let me open the test suite again. I need to check that everything will run very fine. Let's open booking test suite. And see, it checks for logout button is present, and now our test suite is complete. Let me show you something here. If you come down here to this log viewer, this one for login test case, if you can see here, it's everything is logged here in the log viewer. Verify element visible, and then send keys, and finally we'll have here verify element visible for appointment header, and click here this action for clicking the verifying the logout. Notice here it's verify this logout is visible, and finally it clicks back again to the toggle menu to hide the menu. So that's it for this test case, and let's take a quick pause now and continue in the next video.